I'm Tommy Leggett, and I'm an oyster farmer. My day job is working for the Chesapeake Bay Foundation, doing oyster restoration. Every fishery in the world is either overexploited or overfished, and the bay is no different. This is part of our oyster restoration center where we're producing what's called spat on shell. And of course, a spat is a baby oyster. We get hundreds of thousands of shells and load them into these cages. We'll wash our shells, get the grit and the dirt and the organic material off. We'll put the cages in the tank. We'll fill the tank full of water. Then we'll introduce about 2 million oyster larvae into this tank. We give them a chance to swim around and settle on these shells. Then we turn the running seawater on, and at the end of 2 weeks, we'll pull the oysters out of the tanks and dump them overboard onto a state sanctuary reef, a reef that will not be harvested. This is to help jumpstart and repopulate the Chesapeake Bay. There'll be probably close to 1 million oysters planted on this reef this year, and the reef across the river is where we planted close to 9 million oysters earlier this summer. We're not trying to save the bay so we can just look at it. We want to save the bay so that we can use it, but use it sustainably.
When you travel across the beautiful, unspoiled land in western Vermont, it's easy to imagine what life was like here 200 years ago. That's especially true at Wood Cider Mill.
My family's been here as long as the house and the farm have been here, which is 1798. In fact, we've been trying to leave this farm since the Civil War, and each generation seems to get pulled back. I'm the 6th generation. My daughter with her husband is the 7th, and our grandkids are the 8th generation to be here.
Since the 1880s, the Wood family has been making cider and cider products. Now, Willis Wood is continuing the tradition of artisan food production on his family farm in Springfield, Vermont.
Our cider press used to be water-powered. It's a twin-screw press. We've been using it since 1882. It's been in continual operation for all those years. It's a very nice old tool. Every day we'll get a truckload of apples from a local orchard, through a washer and up a conveyor to a grinder. And the ground up apples, called pumice, will come down into the press. In every day we will make 3 pressings, and each one will have about 60, 70 bushels of apples. It'll make about 200 gallons of cider. And then the cider comes down to the evaporator. So we're stoking the evaporator. Well, we're stoking the arch.